Guess who returned to factory settings over the weekend? Guess who looked like a fifth-round pick, a spoiled and entitled and an overvalued fifth-round pick? Guess who looked like one of the worst leaders in the history of the quarterback position? None other than Tupac Shedeur Sanders. And guess whose group of sycophant fans, fanatics, the prime sexuals, the Shedeur Sexuals, who have made this man toxic. They all came out yesterday. Shedeur throws 3 interceptions, no touchdown passes, gets sacked 5 times. The referees overturned a clear fumble that Shedeur had. The Browns get the brakes beat off of them 31-3 by the Chicago Bears, and the Shedeur Sexuals run to the internet to blame any and everybody except for Shedeur Sanders. They run to the internet to make sure that everybody knows. Well, what did you expect? Jerry Jeudy, he dropped a pass and it turned into an interception, and that changed the entire game, and they put the entire focus on Jerry Jeudy and some wristband mishap in the first possession or in the first quarter. Shedeur has either the wrong wristband on or a wristband that lost. These are the play call sheets. Lost one of his play call sheets, and they had to fix it. Everybody, now this is a big controversy and conspiracy. How dare the Browns give Shedeur the wrong wristband? This is unprecedented. This speaks to their sabotage and how incompetent. And Skip Bayless and everybody else has run to the internet to say that we got to get him out of Cleveland. Between Jerry Jeudy and Kevin Stefanski and this wristband mishap, how could Shedeur overcome all of those things? Shedeur Sanders just isn't as good as everyone thinks, and he's certainly one of the worst leaders I've ever seen. I want to start with Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy and that pass he dropped in the end zone, or the pass that he didn't secure in the end zone. I want to start there. Everybody's pointing the finger at Jerry Jeudy. They asked Shedeur Sanders after the game about the play and about Jerry Jeudy, and Shedeur promptly backs a bus over Jerry Jeudy. Play the clip.
Nah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, it is what it is. I'm not one to ever kick somebody down when he's down. He understands that's a big play, and I'm sure he's hard on himself. So it's no need for me to be extra and do that.
I'm not one to kick someone when they're down. I'm not, it's not in me to ever do that. I'm sure he feels terrible about the play. Here's what a typical, normal quarterback with an ounce of leadership skills would say. Man, Jerry Jeudy's a great player. There's no way I can blame him for that play with all the mistakes that I made, the interceptions I threw, the fumble that got overturned, the passes that I missed. Hey, we lose as a team. There's no individual who is to blame. I don't have to say anything to Jerry Jeudy. I got my own problems I need to worry about. That's what the overwhelming majority of quarterbacks would say in that situation, and that's certainly what a head coach and a teammate once said. They don't want you subtly saying, yeah, he feels terrible and he should. He dropped that pass. Because and all the Shedeur Sexuals that are running around the internet and castigating and blasting Jerry Jeudy, that play that Jalen Johnson made, that goes on every weekend in the National Football League. Every weekend. The guy put his hand in the chest of Jerry Jeudy. And that's because that's what he's coached to do. When you know the ball is coming, put your hand in the chest. That way when they try to bring it in, if the ball gets delivered on time and in a proper space, you can try to rip it out. Jalen Johnson made a great play. but the Shedeur Sexuals don't want to give him any credit. Now let me play Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco going in on Wristgate or Wristband Gate and how Shedeur and how negligent and how ignorant the Cleveland Browns were because Shedeur had the wrong wristband or his wristband had to be adjusted. Play the clip.
I've never heard anything like this because they asked him what the wrong place of the wristband. He said, no. So I don't know what to make of this, and I don't want to make it seem like we're trying to make excuses for him, but
we are.
I've never heard this before, Ocho. I really haven't.
I haven't, and it's really somewhat of a red flag for something like that happened in the middle of a game. In the middle of a game, we as coaches, I'm talking about we as coaches, but as players, I understand how well prepared we are going into a game. So how something like this can happen is beyond me, especially at the NFL.
I've never heard of this before, and I don't know how it happened. We don't know why it happened. But if I'm Jimmy Haslam, I'm gonna need some answers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need some answers. I want to know how, for the first 2 drives, the wrong plays were on the sheet, and we had to take the wristbands and make some adjustment to it. I need to know why. If I'm Jimmy, I'm calling my friends. I don't know who's really friendly with. I'm gonna ask the other owners. Have your coaches ever had a situation do you know about where they had to change the the wristband because the plays that they gave the quarterback were the wrong plays, or the plays they didn't want to call, or something like that? Because I need to know why. Mistakes happen, but not the egregiousness of this mistake.
This is comical. You're gonna call other owners to find out have they ever had a wristband problem? Are you kidding me? Cut it out, guys. Shedeur is a big boy. There's a damn good chance he made the mistake and the play sheet may have dropped off his wristband and he may not have seen it. You're calling other owners to get to the bottom of why there was a couple of plays where the guy's wristband wasn't correct. Are you kidding me? This goes all the way up to ownership. The Shedeur Sexuals are a problem. And this goes into my number 8, which I'm going to circle back to some things I've already said, but it's no one on the Cleveland Browns is safe from the wrath of the Shedeur Sexuals. The Shedeur Sexuals in trying to make sure he's free of any blame and any responsibility for anything that goes poorly. They will blame any and everybody. Jerry Jeudy's one of the worst receivers on the planet. He must be cut. Don't you realize he's 3rd in drops? This is how bad the Shedeur Sexuals are. The other players on the other team can't get any credit when they play a great game. The Bears just won 31-3. Their defense got 3 takeaways. They just blew out the Cleveland Browns. You can't hear about Caleb Williams. You can't hear about Jalen Johnson and the great play that he made. That was a great play. People should be celebrating like, man, look how clever that is. And that's why, guys, when you see defensive backs with their hands on the chest or on the body of the opposing wide receiver, they're hoping that the ball will hit their arm. And they'll either have a chance to break up the pass or pull it in as Jalen Johnson did. That's great coaching. Jalen Johnson initially got beat on the pass. Shedeur tried to throw a back shoulder throw, and he actually put it slightly in the wrong place, inside rather than outside. And Jalen Johnson played catch up and made a great play and turned the game. Give this man credit, but we can't give him credit because we're so worried about protecting Shedeur Sanders. No one on the Browns can get any credit if anything goes bad. And if anything does go bad, everybody on the Browns gets maximum criticism except for Shedeur. It's like Shedeur's QB rating, everything that's trash. I think he's got the 3rd lowest quarterback rating in the league. I think he's got the worst QBR in the league, but we can't talk about any of those things. The man was incredibly inaccurate yesterday. The Browns' offensive line actually provided him decent pass protection, but the guy still took on 5 sacks because he can't process the game. Here's the uncomfortable truth people don't want you to deal with. Shedeur is just not that smart. That's why when he gets in these press conferences and there are easy answers to give, he can't give them because he's not that smart.